Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to talk about the final regular season game for the Indiana Fever, a 92-91 loss to the Washington Mystics. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit the notification bell. If you're looking forward to the playoffs of the WNBA, subscribe to our channel. If you like the fact that the NFL season started, subscribe to our channel. If you like Rob, subscribe to our channel. Just subscribe. Anyways, Rob, yesterday in a meaningless game, the Indiana Fever lost 92-91. It was a very strange game. Started out with the Fever. They were like 20-4 when then Kelsey Mitchell hurt her ankle.
Oh.
First thing I want to say is the half-court offense during that 5 minutes was the best half-court offense I've seen the Fever play all year, and nobody else seems to be talking about it. There was ball movement, really good ball movement, and the players were moving. I have no idea why it took 40 games to do this, but then we never saw it the rest of the game. So I have no confidence you're going to see that in the playoffs.
So they were teasing you, Mark. They just gave you a little teaser there. So they drew you in. They drew you in, Mark. And then they just
your word is mind-boggling, Rob. I was flabbergasted.
Oh, they faked you out.
It really was good, and I couldn't believe it. And of course, the three-point defense was awful the whole game as usual. The Mystics shot 8 for 20 in the first half, and they were missing two players. They were missing Leah Edwards. She didn't play because she had an injury, and another player who starts sometimes. Her name is Austin, and she's a center, and so
she's pretty good. Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah, so they weren't even at full staff. So, but she started the starters. Of course, she considers Smith a starter, and I consider Temmie a starter. But anyway, she started the starters.
she started the starters who she thought she should start.
Right, her starters, not my starters, or not everybody else's starters. But Mitchell only had 4 points, but she was 2 for 2 at the time, and then she hurt her ankle. And so the update is she says it's nothing major. She'll be ready to go on Sunday. You don't know. Because, today she's probably testing it out. All ankle injuries especially get, stiff the next day. And then you don't really know till the next day. So we really don't have an update because we're taping this on Friday morning. This game was Thursday night. So we'll find out better tomorrow. Caitlin Clark ended up playing 20 minutes. Lexi Hall, 21. Smith, 20. Boston, 18. And we had a sighting by every player in the team this time, Rob. What frustrating was they had this big lead, and then Mitchell went down. They started playing poor. Then she just basically substituted all the other players. Basically put the second team in, and the lead went from 20-4, and they were only up 24-22. So they got outscored 18-4, and of course she never called a timeout during that whole stretch.
Of course.
And she had 2 timeouts left at the end of the game. So. Just so you know. So that was very frustrating to watch. Caitlin Clark actually was feeling it. She was like 2 for 3 at threes, but she only took 5 shots, and she was content with passing the ball. She had 8 assists and 1 steal and 3 turnovers, and she ended up being 2 for 5. She had 8 points, but she played well. Clark played well, but once Mitchell went down, everything was it wasn't a regular game after that. You can tell that without Clark, they'd be awful. Without Mitchell, they won't be very good either. That's pretty clear at this point.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever had 2 timeouts remaining in a game. When I coached, I can't remember. Even in a blowout, when we had a blowout game, I don't think I had 2 timeouts remaining.
She is worse at calling timeouts than any basketball coach I've ever seen in my entire life. And of course, she's the worst coach I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm going to go to my grave saying that. And I think Caitlin Clark and Mitchell and Boston's play, the only thing that makes this team win, has nothing to do with the coaching. Other than the fact that maybe they got good team chemistry now, something she did over the break. Maybe she's, I guess Wheeler said she's nice. The coaches are nice to us. Okay, so that's fine. But that doesn't mean she can make any kind of in-game adjustments or teach defense or anything like that.
Yeah. So I mean, this playoff game that they have against the Sun, they're going to have to. The major thing, like I said, is defense. They got to get out on that perimeter defense. I think that with the offense, they know how to push the ball and things like that, and Clark will get them going. But the main thing that kills them, besides sides, is their defense.
Right. So I didn't watch the fourth quarter. I went and watched. I was on Prime Video, and it turns out the Thursday Night Football is now on Prime Video, and the Patriots were at the Jets, and I went to watch that game. And Aaron Rodgers, and he looks very efficient right now with the Jets, but that's besides the point. But they were down by 16, Rob, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and so I went to watch the football game, and they came back and only lost by 1. They actually had a chance to win it, but Samuelson and Berger both missed shots at the end.
Oh, a Berger sighting. Oh, all right.
Yeah, so we'll go over the minutes with everybody else. Dantas played 14 minutes. Samuelson played 20, and she actually hit 2 for 3 at 3. I think she missed her first one, if I remember correctly, and then she made 2 more after that. Can't remember, but she was 2 for 3. Saxon got 5 minutes. I don't know why they didn't play her more. She got 5 points in 5 minutes and was 2 for 3.
Wow. Yeah, I see. Wow. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
In fact, Bentley played the right amount of minutes, 15, and Wheeler played 25, played pretty well. She had 7 assists, which is great for her, and 7 points. She was 3 for 6. Wallace had a really, really good game, but she's playing against backup players, Rob. Can she do that against a good, strong team? But she did play 25 minutes, was 6 for 8, 3 for 4 from threes. You got to give her credit for, she can only play against who's out there. She had 4 rebounds and an assist and only 1 turnover, and she had 17 points. And Berger finally got to play, and Berger was 1 for 3 and had 2 points. She also had, 3 rebounds and assists and a steal. So maybe that is anyway. So Hall didn't score any points, and it's kind of disturbing that she leads the league percentage-wise in 3-point shots. I think the last 3 or 4 games, they haven't been getting her shots. She was 0 for 1 yesterday. So they need to improve on that. The refs weren't awful. Maybe it's because it was a meaningless game. I don't know, Rob. Maybe
they're like, oh well, maybe it's a meaningless game, so we'll actually call the game like the way it's supposed to.
Right. They didn't have to give Boston 6 fouls and Asia Wilson none. They didn't have to do that.
And Clark didn't have to tee Clark up, because it says, well, even if we tee her up, doesn't matter. She's still going to be in the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
I didn't have a problem not trying to win the game. I would try to have won the game more earlier in the first half to see if they could get a good lead, because they were obviously outplaying them. I could say that Mystics weren't at full strength, even though they knew they had a shot at the playoffs if the Dream lost, but the Dream ended up winning. So at some point they probably found out because that game, I think, started a little earlier or something like that. But maybe they found out in the fourth quarter, because not all their starters were in the fourth quarter either. So I don't know. It was a very strange game. Christy Sides still doesn't know how to call a timeout. She doesn't know how to do rotations. She could have gradually brought these other players in instead of putting them all at once at the end of it, because they went at a big run at the end of the fourth quarter when they put them in. They're not starters, and they weren't used to playing with each other also. So,
right.
At least
you want to, because they're going to need that bench. I mean, they're not going to win any kind of series with 6 players. So she's got to get them in the rotation. So like you said, just gradually put them in with the starters, and then maybe near the end of the game, if it's out of reach or whatever, you want to give them some playing time. Get some playing time. But yeah, I play to win. Even though it's a meaningless game, I like to win. It doesn't matter who I'm playing, whatever. I like to win.
Right. If she had kept more of their starters in and then gradually brought the other players in, they would have had more flow to their offense and their defense, because the people were used to playing each other more. But instead, she just kind of stuck everybody in, and just it went all downhill after that. And then there was never a serious game after that, even though she put Clark back in again. But I don't have a problem with her playing the starters if they're not going to, even if they're not going to try to win the game. Because you know what, they're not going to play again until Sunday. So sometimes you get rusty and cold. And they only played in 20 minutes. You can get injured, and Mitchell twisted her ankle. It's not serious. But, people paid a lot of money to watch Caitlin Clark play. And it was the biggest attendance ever in a WNBA game. Like it was 20,711 or something like that. They're completely sold out.
Yeah.
So, she played her 20 minutes. I think that was about right. Caitlin Clark hit a couple big threes, made some very exciting, excellent passes. And so she had a good game in limited minutes.
Now it's playoff time, Mark.
Rob, we'll talk about that in another video, but we just talked about the fact that they can't cover the 3-point shot against a team that's not very good, who didn't even have all their starters. They were 8 for 20 in the first half. Then they cooled off in the second half because they played their bench also. But I don't know. I can't explain it. I know it comes down to coaching and effort by the players. And the two of them are both missing. So it's a terrible combination of bad coaching and not enough effort by the players to get closer to their person on the 3-point line. Quit trying to think you're going to be able to close in on time and make a difference, because you're not. So if you haven't learned that after 40 games, I guess they're never going to learn it. So, and they need to, communication and switch better. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell. When you do, if you like Caitlin Clark, subscribe to our channel. And if you like playoff basketball, subscribe to our channel, because we're going to be covering that on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Indiana Fever at Connecticut Sun for game 1. It's a best-of-3 series. The first 2 games are in Connecticut. I don't think that's fair, but that's the way they do it. And that's at 3 o'clock on ABC. So join us for that. And then game 2 is Wednesday at 7:30, and that's on ESPN. That's again in Connecticut, where I will be there for that game. I'll be there for both of them. Join us for both of those games. Monday night's our normal live show. It's 6 to 8 Eastern time. So you can call in for that if you want. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to donate to our channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below and a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.